Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to have a look at the Android file system. So just like the Linux file system, we also have an Android file system. Basically, Android is nothing but a version of Linux, a flavored version of Linux at the back end or at the very lowest level. It also uses the same Linux kernel that is used in other versions such as Kali Linux or Ubuntu. So we are going to have a look at the different file system, and to be very specific, the main file system that starts or the main hard disk is denoted by slash. Inside slash, we have all sorts of different files or all sorts of different folders such as boot, such as system, recovery, data, cache, and other miscellaneous folders. Such a demo time, and let's have a look at all of these different folders with practical examples. Okay, so in order to go inside the Android file system, I'm going to simply write adb shell, and you can see that I am the root user of the device. I'm again going to use the super user command in order to become the super user of this particular device. Okay, and now I have got the shell as the super user or the root user of this particular emulator. Now, as you can see, we have a lot of different folders that are contained inside our/directory. Okay, let's go to them one by one. So first, we are going to go to the boot folder. Let's run the boot folder. You can see the boot folder is not available right now. Why? Because we are using an emulator. However, if you are using a real test, you would be able to see the boot folder. The boot folder contains all the initial programs that needs to be started. It contains the init programs that we call. It contains the Android kernel and all sorts of different programs that runs as soon as your system gets started up. Okay, the second folder that we are going to have a look is the system folder. As you can see over here, we have a system folder installed with us, and inside system folder we have all of different folders. We are going to specifically go inside the user folder. Inside the user folder, you would be containing all the different files and folders related to that particular user. The next folder that we are going to have a look is the recovery folder. Okay, and as you can see over here, there's not a recovery folder that has been installed. Why? Because my emulator has not been backed up yet. As soon as my emulator is going to get back up, it's going to create a folder called as the recovery folder. However, we are going to move on to the next one. That is the data folder. The data folder is the one that is very much important for us. Inside data folder, we are all again going to go inside another folder called as data, and over here, all the data related to a particular application has been stored over here inside their application bundle ID. For example, let's say for Diva. For Diva, we have a bundle ID called as jakar.async.diva. Let's go inside this. And inside this, if you just ls, you can see there's a cache data, there are specific databases. Also, you would be getting over here something called as shared preferences. Shared preferences is a data storage option that we are going to have a look inside the next video. Okay, you can simply go to hard coding issues, click on access, or let's say data storage issues. Click on save, and okay, sorry, it was the first one, insecure data storage one. Click on save, and as soon as you ls, you can see that there's a shared preference folder that has been created. Inside the shared preference folder, you would be seeing a file name that says preferences.xml file, and you can see that username and password is being stored in clear text. So that was about data. Data contains all other data belonging to a particular Android device, be it system data, be it user-specific data such as SMS, contacts, applications, etc. Let's move forward to cache. So there's a folder called as cache. You can see a folder called as cache. If you go inside cache, this cache would be containing all sorts of different folders such as backup, recovery backup underscore stage. Again, since we did not have a recovery or we did not have a backup, this folder would be empty. So this is a folder wherein all cache data is going to get stored. There's another folder called as SD card. SD card basically means the storage of your Android device. Okay, if you click over here, you can see there are different types of storage, and these storage are the same that you can visit using the file explorer and going inside downloads, documents, etc. So these are the same storage that is located inside SD card. There are other such miscellaneous folders as well, such as temp, sbin, bin, etc. So this was all about Android file system. You can play around these files and try to understand how these files are going to work for you. That's it for this particular video. Thank you.